Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger with an exciting new story of real life in the Old West. There are some things you can't explain, and this is one of them. It happened way back in the 80s, but folks in that part of the desert still look up at the sky, times when the moon is young and a pale haze hangs over everything, and wonder to themselves about the dogs of the mist.
Cold, honey?
Oh, someone just walked over my grave.
You should have worn a coat.
Oh, we're almost home. Aren't we?
Don't you know?
Everything seems so unnatural in this light. Even familiar landmarks.
Like your own husband.
Steve, look. Over there by the corral.
Bobcats. I got them both, I think. Won't radar stalk again the sons of guns.
Be careful, Steve. They may be only wounded.
Oh, Florrie. Those ain't bobcats, they're dogs.
Are they dead?
Old Toolie Joe's dogs.
Who's Toolie Joe?
A desert rat who hangs around here when he ain't off prospecting. I wouldn't have done this for anything in the world. Those dogs were like his children.
What's the matter?
Something tied to this one's collar. Sample of ore.
And a piece of paper.
Something written on it. Struck gold, shot myself by accident. Bring help, boys, will show the way. Toolie Joe.
The boys?
His dogs, that's what he called them.
Maybe there's directions on the other one.
Hurt bad. Follow the dogs. Follow the dogs. It's the only way of getting help, and I've killed them. I couldn't sleep all night, thinking of Toolie laying out there in the desert somewheres, waiting.
Well, nothing to do, I guess. Get a posse together, go out and look for him.
Yeah, we'll take along Indian George. He's an expert tracker.
Well, I'll stand the cost. That's the least I can do.
The dogs was headed in from which direction?
Well, I think across the salt flats.
Well, that gives us something to go on.
Well, I'll see if I can round up Doc Garvey. If Toolie's hurt bad, he'll need a doctor.
We'll meet out front in half an hour. Oh, I'd better take these over to the assay office. Show them to Alec. Might give us a clue.
Oh, well, good. Anything that can help us find him.
I thought you might have come across something like it before.
It's gold, all right. Which is more than most of old Toolie's samples turned out to be.
Well, hi, Doc.
Howdy. Steve Hewitt tells me you'll be needing me on a posse to find old Toolie Joe.
Yeah. His ore didn't give Alec no clue at all where we should search. Do you think there's any point in going out?
Well, we've got to make a try for it.
Guess you're right. Better keep those samples till we get back.
I will.
Nothing. Well, we better fan out. We'll meet at Rattler's Bend at sundown. Pitch camp there.
Well, if we don't have any better luck, I'm going home. I tell you, it's hopeless.
Oh, we can't give up and leave him to die.
Chances are he's dead already. Right, Doc?
Well, of course, we don't know just how long ago it happened or when he sent the dogs for help.
Look, we've already wasted 3 whole days. I, for one, have to get back to my store. I'm leaving, first thing in the morning.
I'm afraid I gotta get back too, Steve.
It's no use, Steve.
Giving up so soon, well, it's like murder.
I wouldn't talk about murder if I was you, Steve. How much had you been drinking that night? Mistaken masters for bobcats.
Well, I'll leave you here. Much obliged to you all.
All right, Steve.
Is that where you buried him?
Huh?
See if I can rustle us up some drinks.
Good. Oh, boy. I sure worked up some thirst in that sun.
Did you find them?
Not a trace.
Nor the mine either?
Mine?
I assayed these samples after you left. You know what they ran? $3,100 a ton.
3,100.
Old Toolie Joe really struck a bonanza.
And he never even lived to record it.
You mean he's dead?
Well, we don't know, but his chances of surviving are pretty slim.
3,100 a ton. I'll be glad to pay you for the assay, Alex.
Oh, no need.
It's only fair, since half the claim would be mine anyhow. I grub-staked Toolie Joe. He come in day before he left and stocked up.
How come you never mentioned this before?
I was all fired bent on finding the poor guy. Do you have the report there?
Oh, yeah.
Let me have it.
You got a paper says you grub-staked him?
I always grub-stake Toolie. We never bothered signing nothing.
Well, if Luther's entitled to half, and I'm not about to argue about it, well, I feel I'm entitled to a little something, too. For all the claims I recorded for him, for free. He always said it was a debt. He'd pay me someday when he was in the chips.
You kept track, huh?
Well, I can estimate.
I can help you. Because for every one of those claims you recorded, there was an assay I ran for him. And paid for out of my own pocket. I wasn't going to bring the matter up, but since the rest of you seem to be getting in your licks, I might as well.
Oh, why not? You know, a doctor's in a rather peculiar position. He expects to do a great deal for charity. Well, I never charged Toolie Joe a cent when I brought him through pneumonia last winter, but, well, if there's an estate, so to speak, I'd like my just due.
Yeah.
Sure, Doc. That fumbling fool Hewitt killing those dogs. They could have led us straight to the spot.
We still might be able to find it. Who else you been telling about this?
Not a soul.
Good. We'll keep it among the 4 of us.
5. Don't think I'm moving in on something I don't have a right to. But you see, I gave old Toolie Joe the lumber for his shack. I never did collect.
Well, all right. There's still enough to put us all on Easy Street.
Well, what about Steve?
What about him?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Better eat your supper, honey, before it gets cold.
I'm not hungry.
Steve, you can't go on like this, fretting yourself sick. What's done is done.
I as good as murdered him, Florrie.
You've been saying that now for a month.
It's true.
Well, you had no way of knowing. I thought they were wild animals, too. In the mist and the moonlight.
Poor devils. Coming to fetch help.
Steve? What's the matter?
Did you hear him?
Who? I don't hear anything.
They're calling, Florrie.
Steve, where are you going?
After them. Tully! Tully!
Darling, I've been so worried about you. Where did you go?
I followed them for miles.
Who?
The dogs. I could hear them, but I couldn't see them.
Steve.
Suddenly the barking stopped. I lost him.
Steve, I'll make you some coffee. You look all in.
You know, Steve's been acting awful funny since the night he shot Thule Joe's dogs. People tell me they've seen him wandering around the hills in the dead of night. Nothing but a kerosene lantern and sort of a wild, crazy look in his eye.
I've been hearing the same thing for weeks now.
Strange, Alec. Mighty strange.
We're down to our last can of kerosene.
I'll get some next time I'm in the store.
We need wicks, too. I've been reminding you for weeks.
I haven't been in yet.
Why not?
Busy?
Folks don't hold it against you, honey, for killing the dogs.
That's what you think.
They've forgotten all about it by now.
Well, I haven't. As long as I live, I'll never forget or forgive myself.
Thule Joe was an old man, Steve. He had no family. Steve?
They've come back. I can hear him, Florrie, honest.
I don't hear a thing.
You can hear him now, can't you?
Steve, please.
Same kind of night. A new moon, a mist.
Steve, you're imagining things. There's nothing out there.
I'm going after him.
Dogs are dead. You killed them yourself 2 months ago. Thule Joe is dead by now. He must be. Steve, come back!
I tell you, this whole Thule Joe business really has me thinking.
Me too.
Good evening.
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 Hi.
Alec and me were just talking about Thule Joe. I guess we can chalk it up as another lost mine.
That's funny. Old Thule not giving any idea of the location when he sent for help?
Well, I guess he has so much faith in those dogs of his.
Did it ever occur to you that Steve Hewitt might know something we don't know?
What do you mean by that?
Those messages were on rough scraps of paper. Easy enough to tear part of it off.
If he knows where that mine is.
Mind you, I'm not saying he does.
Well, has anybody seen Steve?
Some folks said they saw him wandering around the hills at night. But personally, I haven't seen him for weeks.
Me neither.
He ain't even been in town.
Well, evening, Mac.
Oh, howdy,
Hi.
Mac.
Have you seen Steve Hewitt lately?
No, don't believe I have.
Could be he's avoiding us.
Could be he's prospecting. I suggest we pay a call on Brother Hewitt tonight.
Tonight? What for?
Gold, maybe?
Steve,
Evening, Miss Hewitt.
oh, Mr. Pond.
We come to see Steve.
I'm sorry he's not home.
You going to town?
Well, he was called out.
You expect him back soon?
Oh, I really couldn't say.
Mind if we wait?
Well, it might be quite a while. Last time...
Oh? He goes out quite often like this, huh?
Oh, no, he... Just now and then.
He go on foot?
Alone?
Please. I'll tell him you were here. If you'd care to leave a message...
I think we'd better wait.
Well, you shouldn't have waited up for me, honey. What's all this?
Steve, you wouldn't be trying to double-cross us, would you?
What's that supposed to mean?
The rest of us have claims to that mine. I own half of it, because I grub-staked him.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Thule Joe's claim. Where is it?
I wish I knew.
Don't hand us that.
You just come from it.
No.
Then where did you go?
I just went out.
Where?
Just out.
In the desert?
Yes.
Why?
Looking for Thule?
A dead man? You're lying. You've been out digging gold. You go out regular. Your wife told us.
No. No, only when he hears...
When he hears what?
Nothing.
Steve, where is that mine located?
I don't know.
Where is it?
I swear I don't know.
Stop it! Stop it!
We'd better leave now.
I think we better.
If you'd have left me alone, I could have choked it out of him.
You'd have killed the one man in the world that could show us the location of that mine.
All right, then. How are we going to find it?
We'll keep a watch on him, night and day.
Especially night.
We'll trail him wherever he goes.
We're working shifts.
All right, then. That's what we'll do.
Steve, you buried those dogs yourself, 3 feet underground.
Why do I keep hearing them?
You don't, dear. You've just let the whole thing prey on your mind.
Are you trying to tell me I'm crazy?
Darling, promise me you won't go out there again, please.
Well, you do think I'm crazy.
It's just that I'm so afraid one night you'll follow them and never come back.
Think he hears us?
He hears something.
Lord, I couldn't have lasted much longer. I think both legs are busted.
He'll be all right. Listen, Coach.
This man's a doctor.
Easy. It's nothing serious, I'm sure.
What in God's world ever brought you out here at this time of night? I don't know.
I guess you could say it was a miracle. I was praying it was Thule.
Tully?
Well, he's dead. I know that now. But I did get a second chance. I don't know what brought the others.
Greed. We're sorry, Steve.
God rest your soul, Tilly.
Here in the Goldfield News of Nevada is a full account of our story tonight. The lost mine still remains lost, one of the great mysteries of the Southwest Desert. If it weren't for the fabulous samples of ore wrapped in a man's shirt, folks might think it never existed. But from that day on, Steve Hewitt was a man at peace with himself. He'd squared his debt, and the dogs of the mist never barked again.